Hello, Rafters fans. It's your Assistant General Manager, Tyler Miller here, and I am so excited for another season of Rafters Baseball, which kicks off here very, very soon. Today, I'm joined by two people that you would definitely be familiar with, as one will serve as the voice of the Rafters, calling all 72 games this season on WFHR. So be sure to get your Civic Media app downloaded or get your radio dial ready. The other will serve as the face of the Rafters on the TV side, calling all 36 home games on the new Northwoods League Plus app, along with a few other networks, which will be announced very soon. Starting on the radio side, let's go ahead and start with some introductions before diving into some questions I have. Andy?
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you, Tyler. My name is Andy Jachim. I will be your radio voice for the Rafters this season. I'm from Bartlett, Illinois, suburb of Chicago, probably about 45 minutes out from the city. I actually just graduated from North Central College, located in local suburban Naperville on Sunday. So that's my background into my education, where I'm from, and this will be my seventh. This is my seventh season broadcasting sports, whether at the high school, collegiate, or minor league level.
Cool. I can already tell you that that you've got the voice for the radio. Our fans will be excited to listen to you all season long, that's for sure. TV side, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, Rafters fans, I'm Khalin Kapoor. First of all, Andy, congratulations on graduating. So for me, I'm from Washington, D.C. I go to school in Boston at Northeastern. I've been doing baseball for a long time, 3 years now. So, Andy, I'm not even remotely close to your level of experience. But I think for this season and for this team, especially in broadcasting, I grew up with this game. I've been a fan of the game since before I can even remember what sports was. I was watching baseball with my family. So that's why I'm so excited to be here, to be a part of this group and be a part of this organization.
Yeah, well, I can speak on behalf of the fans and the community here. We definitely are so excited to welcome you guys. I'm excited for the summer, excited to see what both of you guys can bring to the table. Let's go ahead and dive right into the broadcasting side. So I think starting with a little bit of background, let's go ahead and start with you, Colin. What drew you to broadcasting, and specifically kind of baseball games? What drew you to broadcasting baseball games?
Yeah, the thing that drew me to broadcasting, Tyler, is listening. Is like I said, being able to watch games from a young age and hearing. I'm from DC, so it was Bob Carpenter from DC. He's their broadcaster, who was the voice of so many childhood memories, especially TV side. And on the radio side, Charlie Slows, who called the World Series for Washington a few years ago. So I think the hallmark of that was listening, and that drew me in. When I got to Northeastern, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I bounced around, majors, and then I found this. I found baseball broadcasting and hockey broadcasting, and since then, that was 3.5 years ago now, that has just been a trajectory that has not stopped since. So what brought me to it, I didn't unlock that until I got to Northeastern, but was listening when I was a kid. It snapped into place when I got to Northeastern. I was like, this is something I can do, and this is something that I love to do.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And Andy, I know you have quite the story background, and so just interested to hear what drew you to broadcasting baseball games.
Yeah, so similar thing as Colin, being from the Chicago area, diehard fan of the Cubs, the Bears, the Blackhawks, the Bulls, and just so many great broadcasters that I got to listen to as a kid. I mean, I played sports. I played baseball in particular from the time I was 3 until I was 20. I played up until my sophomore year of college. So I always tell people baseball was really my first love, played into my college days. And I got introduced to broadcasting in particular in high school. I was a part of a magnet academy that was specific with digital media broadcasting. And my sophomore year of high school, one of my teachers said, hey, we have a basketball game tonight. I really think you should give this a try. Like, and you have the feel for the game and you love sports so much. And I threw on the headset, and from right then and there, I was like, all right, I think this is something we could really get going into. And I finished that out throughout high school, kind of went away from broadcasting a little when I went to college. And then once I transferred to North Central here closer to home, there's an award-winning radio station at my school, and just so many opportunities to call so many different sports, so many different games: football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, even some lacrosse. I've kind of dabbled across all over the place. And it feels like I'm in my zone. It feels like I am where I'm supposed to be when I'm in a booth, no matter where it is. And just being able to tell stories and paint the picture for the audience, man. I mean, there's nothing more fun for me, and there's no better feeling than when I have a headset on or a microphone in front of me. I feel really at home. So it's a long-winded answer, but my background, and I've been doing this for a little while now, but I've never had a full season like this. So I'm just so fired up to be here and this opportunity. I know me and Colin are gonna have a blast. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, one thing about Andy, what you just said. I mean, when you put it on, for me, it's the same thing. You put the headset on, it feels right, like you said. It feels like, I always say when I put the headset on, I feel like just the best version of what I could possibly even be in any kind of setting, right? And so I think that's similar between the two of us, and it happened for me, a few years ago when I got to Northeastern. But having that so early on is really cool and really special.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited again because of the tag team that you guys are going to have. I know we have obviously a TV side of things and a radio side, but there's going to be so much collaboration between you two, and especially we have the pregame show that we shoot on the TV side, and Andy would love to extend the invitation to kind of be that side, that color guy, being able to provide maybe your background on the baseball side to our pregame show and really enhance that. And same thing on the radio side, if there's opportunities. I know we have chatted about being able to tag team it on the road for some of the road games and having the color guy be a part of that. So I look forward to the broadcast team this year. I really think we can take that next level. Again, many people know my past. I come from a production background. So this is a little bit special to me being a video production supervisor. I'm actually a 2021 Webcast of the Year award winner. So I'm looking to bring that back to you guys. Would love to get some hardware for you guys coming here this season. So I'm going to do my best to do that. You kind of dabbled in it a little bit, Andy, but there's a major difference between radio and TV, and it's obviously you're watching one and you're listening to one, and sometimes you're listening to the TV side without fully paying attention, and you may miss some things because again the TV side's a little more story based and kind of relaxed because you can actually see what's going on. So Andy, for you, how do you approach conveying excitement and atmosphere through sound, and not necessarily through the visual aspect of it?
Yeah, so I never really knew the difference. I mean, I knew the difference, but I never experienced the difference between TV versus radio until I transferred to North Central because it was radio only. And I remember when I got there, it was football season. They said, we'll let you sit back and observe for a few weeks, and then we'll get you the headset on and we'll get going. I was like, I don't know what these. I'm like, I can go in right away. Like I'm good. And then I see the difference. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to like. I've been a big Pat Hughes fan my whole life. He's really one of my big broadcasting icons, and when you're listening to him, I mean, his voice in particular is just so silky smooth, and you don't even think about the actual process that goes into it. But there's a huge gap to fill on TV. Like when you're calling games on TV, you can go 5, 10, 15 seconds of just crowd ambiance, right? You don't have to say anything sometimes. The game can do the talking for itself. If you turn on your radio dial and you hear 5, 10, 15 seconds of silence with me, you might think something's going horribly wrong in the booth. I might not even be there. I could be in the bathroom. You have no idea where I could be. So it's important to strike that balance. It's a hard balance to get because I'm a chatterbox. I sometimes can never stop talking, but there is times you need to let the game breathe and let the crowd kind of get into it. I know we have a bumping crowd that's going to be coming out to games all summer long, so I'm not worried about that on the home side of things. It's a tough balance to fill for sure. Between getting that difference in between TV and radio, it's a challenge I've embraced these last couple of years, and I really think it's built me up for this role this summer. And like I keep saying, I keep saying I'm super excited, and that's just how it is, man. I'm super pumped. I've always wanted to be a part of the Northwoods League, and this was a bucket list item for me. So for me, this means just as much as it does for the fans or for anyone else that gets to tune in this summer. You're going to hear the excitement in my voice, and I hope that I can be that fan on the couch next to you at home. If you got the radio dial tuned on, I hope you can connect with me on some stories and learn a little bit along the way, just like myself.
Yeah, no, I love that. And again, I think it's that excitement. It's being able to convey what's going on the field, obviously with your play-by-play, but again, being able to mix in some of those storylines that you're going to have traveling with the team and being able to give some real insight into who this team is, who our field manager is, who our coaching staff is, what this area is. Again, we're going to have viewers on the Civic Media app on the radio side from across the country potentially. So it's not just the AM FM dial that's going to be here locally. Nowadays with the technology, you can tune in from anywhere. So again, I totally know there's going to be a mix of people, especially players, parents who kind of, again, some days listen to the TV side, some days tune into the radio side just because of what they're doing. So again, for the TV side of things, what are some unique challenges and opportunities that come with broadcasting visually rather than just the sound? I know Andy kind of mentioned some of the filling time and some of that, but what are some of the unique challenges to you?
Yeah, to me, the first thing is my extensive background is hockey play-by-play on the radio. Two things
Yeah.
that are speed-based, that you have to say what's happening, when it's happening, all of that in real time. So for hockey and baseball, so different. So for
Mhm.
me, one of the most important things that I'm going to have, obviously Andy can speak to this as well, but this is a learning opportunity for us too. So I'm trying to get to that point of a TV broadcast where you slow down a little bit, you let the game do the talking for you some of the times, like Andy said, letting that crowd ambiance take over, but then also mixing in narratives and storylines. And this is where being, not just a broadcaster, but being a journalist is so important as a TV voice, because these storylines, if someone gets up to bat and all I have on this person is their stats, I might use that up and then I have nothing for their next at bat. So
Correct.
it becomes storyline narrative driven. I think that's the linchpin of TV broadcasting in any sense. Any national broadcast is more big picture sometimes. But I think for a team like this with such a rabid fan base, with such a rooted history, that's when the storytelling is going to play a really big part. And that's why I'm so excited to be on the TV side. One, because it's something I haven't really dove into before for baseball. But two, I'm going to be able to uncover so many special things about these players, about this city, about this team, about the field. All of these things we'll be able to find, and Andy and I together will be able to find and then work those into what's happening, because everyone can see what's happening. I'll do my best to enhance what people are seeing. But I think even more so than a big home run call, even more so than a quick double play, will be the storytelling that goes in behind that. I think I'm well equipped to handle that, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, two comments on that. I think the one that's the thing that's challenging about the Northwoods League sometimes, guys, is the turnaround. I mean, again, like we've got three guys coming back, 2 or 3 guys coming back this year from last year's team. Last year we pushed through close to 85 guys through the summer. So it's like, again, for our fans, it is harder to again fully understand these people or these players, because again there's just so much turnaround. So that's where we try to dive into the storytelling. And then again with that, I think that's what's so unique about baseball, that and I know basketball has it a little bit, but it's the regional networks. That's what's so special about having some of this baseball. Like these broadcasters are going with the team. They're the regional network that are with this team. It's not this ESPN broadcast that's these 2 guys who have call 1 game a year for this team. They know who these guys are, and they know what it is. And so I think that's what I like to do with the Northwoods League, and having team specific broadcasters, is that relationship that you can build with the team, and really be able to tell those stories and who these guys are. Again, opportunities to bring them on the broadcast.
Right.
If there's a bullpen pitcher that is, comfortable talking and wants to share his story, I mean, again, spend 1 inning on the TV side, spend the next inning on the radio side, and have some of that storytelling that goes along the way, and doing interviews, and again, podcasts like this, that we can really sit down and dive into this team, dive into this city, and everything that the Rafters are. And so, again, kind of looking at your guys' kind of whole broadcasting career, can you share any memorable moments or highlights that stand out for you? Again, not necessarily, doesn't have to be specifically baseball, but again, I think those moments stick with you forever, and would love to hear some of your favorite moments in your career so far.
Yeah, so I'll give it a whirl on that one. So for Northeastern, we have a very good baseball team. So one of my, it's kind of a weird moment, but one of my favorite moments of a Northeastern baseball game was our broadcast spot at our field is outside in the elements on kind of the bleacher area. It starts raining. All of our stuff starts getting drenched. So what we do is we move to the outfield box that's usually used for soccer, and we broadcast the game from, I don't know, 300 feet away from home plate. And it was actually really interesting. It was a different point of view. It was obviously, I mean, no idea what the strike zone was looking like. You couldn't judge trajectory off the bat, but it was a really unique challenge. Northeastern ended up walking off that game by hitting a home run into our bleacher section in the outfield. And that's something I'm never going to forget, because of the wackiness of that moment. And that's something in baseball that one of my mentors once said to me: baseball is the hardest sport to call, because you never, ever, ever know what's going to happen next. The ball can take a crazy bounce off a base. It could be a wild pitch that caroms around 100 times in the backstop. You never know what's going to happen in hockey and basketball and football. You can read plays as they happen down the length of the court, down the length of the ice, down the length of the field. But in baseball, it's a toss-up, and that's why I love the sport so much. You never know what's going to happen. And from the broadcast side of things, Andy, I'm sure you can relate to this. You think something's going to happen, and the exact opposite happens 10 seconds later, and you're like, why did I even try to predict this? So that's not really a big championship or whatever, but I think it just illustrates the craziness of this sport, and I think that's why the fans, why us as broadcasters, why you, Tyler, love it so much. The unpredictability of it, and when something great happens, it makes it so much more special because of that unpredictability.
Yeah, no, I love that. And again, it is. I think that's the biggest thing is you have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, again, there could be bases loaded, no outs, and it turns into nothing, absolutely nothing, and or whatever the craziness that happens. No, I fully agree. Andy, anything to add to that as some favorite moments or highlights that stand out to you?
Yeah, I think being and for those who don't know, with North Central College being Division III, a little bit on the smaller side, but our school is known as being a football powerhouse at that level. And I think for me, I only went to the school for 2 years, but the 2 years that I got to be a part of it, I got to travel to both national championships that we played, the Stag Bowl for football, including Stag Bowl 50 this past year, which didn't go our way, unfortunately, but the year before my junior year, getting to be a part of a national championship winning broadcast was something I'll never forget. And just the moments that came afterward, getting to go on the field, seeing the initial reactions of the players, winning a national championship, what that feeling meant, and sitting in on the press conference afterward, me and my broadcast partner. And the particular moment I'll never forget is our head coach. It was his first season at the helm. And after we went to shake his hand and say, hey, congratulations, an incredible accomplishment, a perfect season, and all these great things. And the first thing he tells us is, I and our staff appreciate all that you guys do in covering this team as a student-run radio station. And, if there's anything I can do for you in terms of interviews on the way back, like, please let me know. And we're like, you just won a national championship in your first season as the head coach. Like, why is that the first thing you're thinking about right now? So I think just getting those types of interactions for a big moment like that, no matter what level it is at the collegiate level, a national championship is always something that's pretty cool to be a part of. And that weekend, but that night in particular, is something in my career that I'll never forget.
No,
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I can relate to that too, Andy. I mean, Northeastern is known as a hockey school too. We won a big hockey tournament called the Beanpot last year. And the first thing that our head coach did after we got off the podium was I went up and gave him a handshake, said, congratulations, coach. And he was like, thank you guys for the work that you do. You guys do a great job. And it's interesting because obviously North Central, Northeastern, there's a little bit of a difference in terms of the size of the school, but the community that sports creates, and especially the recognition of the work that student broadcasters do is really important to me. Just because we're in there every day, right? You go to practices, go to all the games, call the games, write up the games, and that recognition is important. And it just shows, like, even though this coach or this player may be on top of the world, they just won a championship, they still kind of understand that these kids are doing great work. So I appreciate that story, Andy, because it's something I can relate to.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a huge part of it. I think, again, that's what this internship's about, right? Like, I absolutely love giving students the opportunity, again, because I was a student as well. Like, the only reason I'm sitting here right now is because of the internship that I was given with this team. And I look forward to giving people these opportunities. And again, it's just so amazing to see what these universities do with the student ran media. Again, some of these top programs, again, I went to Ball State University, which is a really good media school as well. And so, again, having that background and just, again, seeing the appreciation that people have for student media is amazing. And again, I think that's what we get here is this whole league is ran 90% off of intern student media side of things. And again, they're college students coming here to better themselves get the experience, get the real world. Again, on the radio side, 72 games in 77 days. On the TV side, calling 36 TV broadcasts on a variety of networks. And so it's just really cool to kind of see everything get put together. And I really hope you guys are able to take something from this season and be able to use it in your entire career and kind of, have Rapids be a place you'll always remember. Is something that we always try to build here. Hopefully, again, we can add to your guys' favorite moments by adding that Northwoods League championship at the end of the season and some hardware for some best broadcasting. So I've got one more question for you guys. Again, I really appreciate your guys' time as you guys haven't even reported for your first day of the internship yet, but are willing to sit down with me and give the fans an inside look before we kick off the season again. Just want to mention that we will be doing stuff like this. We really want to be able to give the fans an insight into who we are, who our interns are, who our team is. So I look forward to working with you both, number one, just on that this entire season, and look forward to the ideas that you guys come up with to put stuff together out on social media and website and how we do that. So want to open up the floor to you guys. Andy, we can go ahead and start with you. What kind of message would you like to extend to our fans that always tune in to support this season? What do you want to say kind of to our fan base and to your listeners?
Totally. I kind of already said it earlier,
Yeah.
but yeah, fans are going to feel my emotion. They're going to, like I said, I'm going to be sitting on the couch right next to them as they listen to the game or whatever the case may be while they're following along. And obviously, we can both speak on the support that we know we're going to have, and we appreciate it from the fan base and obviously from our friends and family back home. And I want fans to know as well, reach out, be interactive. I know throughout the broadcast, I'll throw my personal Twitter out on there, and I want fans to tweet at me to interact. And if they see me walking across the park, I know obviously I'm not on TV, so they may not see my face all the time, but they probably will be able to hear my voice. Come say hi. I love meeting people, and I love meeting fans and being able to tell stories, not just of the team, but of the fan base and of the city. We've talked earlier about the tradition here, and I think that's a big part of it as well. And I want to be able to be a part of that culture and fit in rather quickly, obviously. And I want to storytelling is everything for me. I want to be able to culminate everything that has to do with this organization, the people that support it, the people that, are behind the scenes. And I'll make sure to shout out all of those people plenty of times, because more often times than not, that's the work that goes completely unrecognized. And just these players in general, everyone's here to have an opportunity no matter what they're doing. And it's just going to be a fun summer. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get up there and meet everyone. It's going to be a blast.
No, it'll definitely be fun, and I will definitely expect a shout out when you see me out there pulling that tarp during the rain delay this season. So, but no, all jokes aside, again, we are super excited to have you, Andy. It's going to be really exciting. Again, calling all 72 games on our partner since day one. WFHR is locally grown radio. That's what they stand for. They've stood by that. They've stood by the Rafters since 2010. We've been on WFHR and plan to be on WFHR for the rest of the time that this team is here. And so again, it's a very special radio station and a very special connection that we have with that radio station, and really look forward to kind of bringing you in and being able to kind of connect you with all of those people and the passionate fan base that listen to WFHR and will definitely tune into the games. Khalin, what message or invitation would you like to extend to the fans as they tune in on the TV side? This year we will be on ESPN Plus for a hand. Can't really say exactly how many games yet, but we will be on ESPN Plus, featured on there. The Northwoods League Plus app that actually launches at the end of this week. So a new and improved app for free viewing for all of that. And there's another network that I'm excited to announce here later in this week. So definitely a lot of ways to tune in on the TV side of things. We'll definitely be posting clips and some of that from the broadcast side. So what's some message or invitation you would like to extend?
Yeah, to the Rafters fans listening, watching at home, I cannot wait to meet each and every one of you. Andy echoed what I want to say here is that I'm going to be out. I'm going to be living in the city, right? I want to meet each and every one of you as much as I can at the ballpark, not at the ballpark. I've never been in such a close-knit community before ever in my life. I'm from the DC area. I go to school in Boston. If you walk up to someone in Boston and say hi, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. And that's not what I want. I want to be able to make these connections with you, the fans. And, for myself growing up, if I got the chance to to see the broadcaster of my favorite team, I would be flabbergasted about that chance. And I know here in the Northwoods League, it's a little bit different because there's interns that come and go. And I think Andy and I want the same thing, and that's to make this season as memorable as possible for the fans out there, to showcase this team, this special team, as much as we can. And for anyone watching one of my broadcasts or listening to one of Andy's broadcasts, we want you to feel as connected to the team as you possibly can. And that comes through our storytelling, through our reporting, and things like that. So if I'm out walking and you see my face and you're like, hey, that's that guy from that game, you know what? Say, hey, guy from the game, like, say what's up. Like, I want to be as connected with the fan base in the city as much as possible. And if that comes through community events like Tyler and I have talked about before, I would love to do that. So me personally extending to you guys that invitation of connection to be a part of the city, only for 3 months, unfortunately, but be a part of the city and be a part of this season. And that's what I really want. And what I'm really, really excited about is to meet every single Rafters fan that's out there.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate those answers, guys. It's gotten me hyped up. I can't even sit still anymore listening to you guys. I can't wait to be able to tune in. I'm the crazy one that I work at the baseball stadium and then I go home and listen to the broadcast because I can't listen to all of it at once. So I'll listen to the game basically 3 times: one live, one on the TV side when I go home, and then one on the radio side whenever I get a chance to catch up. So I always look forward to kind of listening to the stories that you guys are able to provide. And again, like we mentioned kind of before, really kind of expanding our exclusive content. We're really looking to do stuff like this, like we're doing now. Again, bringing on different people and doing introductions. I think that's the best way to really connect, is to open up our entire team to questions and to interviews, and again, really give that inside look. So again, just want to really thank you both. I can't reiterate enough that the season technically hasn't even started for you guys, but I know the work that you guys are putting in. I've shared the roster with you guys, so I know you guys have started to take a look at that and been able to piece it together because again, you want to feel prepared for when you come here and not just thrown into things. And I appreciate the effort that you guys are putting in, even though you guys haven't even reported to Wisconsin Rapids or know what this area is even about yet, as a whole. So again, I think I can speak for the fans by saying we're excited for both of you to spend a summer in the Northwoods League in Wisconsin Rapids for the Rafters. And fans, those of you listening, stay tuned in throughout the summer on all social media, on the Northwoods League TV Network, on WFHR, on the Civic Media app, as we will try to bring you and promise to bring you exclusive content all season long. So guys, I thank you so much again. Look forward to working with you this season, and we'll see you here soon in Wisconsin Rapids.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to get after it.